everyone! This week we are going to the rock shed. Well, virtually at least. So my dad has a birthday at the end of May, and a few weeks ago he told me he was looking for a new fossil for his office. He's a big fossil guy. He's also a hobby woodworker, so I thought petrified wood would be the perfect gift. So I went onto the rock shed and found this beautiful piece of petrified wood from the Pacific Northwest. And then I couldn't help myself, and I scrolled around a little on some tumbling rocks, and I had to purchase the medium mix. I did this once when I very first began rock tumbling, and I had a really good experience. So I thought, let's give it another shot and see how different or similar, and really generally what type of rocks you get if you order the medium-sized tumbling mix from the rock shed. So let's dig in. So when you order the medium crushed rock mix from the rock shed, it comes in a bag like this. You can see ordered the full 5-pound one. You can get smaller versions. You know, it's heavy. It's 5 pounds. It does make shipping a little bit expensive, but one of the great things about the rock shed is that they will refund you if the shipping actually ends up being less. My shipping for this plus the petrified wood was $17, and then they ended up refunding me. I think it was $4. Plus it got here in 2 or 3 days via FedEx, which is really good for any business. Half of my Amazon packages don't get there here in that quick of time, so really happy with that. Now, let's dive into these rocks. They've been sitting there taunting me for a week, so let's open these up. Quite a variety. So let's spray these down so we can really see the colors. There we go. It's always so exciting to have a new batch of rocks in front of you. I have been holding off on filling up one of my rock tumbling barrels so that we could do a barrel of most of these rocks. Rockshed very conveniently states on their website that most rocks that come in their medium mix are going to be a Mohs hardness scale of 7, which means, you know, generally these should be able to tumble together. Instead of forcing you all to have me go through every single rock and talk about it, which would make this a very long video, I thought I would start out by grouping them into some categories that made sense to me. So we have up here our quartz pile. We've got a couple mystery rocks that I'll show you. Huge pile of Jasper, definitely our biggest one. Bloodstone, agates, a very special type of agate that I had to research some, and Aventurine. So let's talk about these. All right, I can't help myself, so we are starting with the one that I am most excited about, which is this Turritella agate, is I believe how it's pronounced. This is one I had to research a little bit. So when I first dumped these out and was sorting through, I immediately recognized it as a fossil. It looks like a fossil, but I fully admitted I don't know much about fossils. So I had to look this one up. So this is Turritella agate, which Turritella is like a type of snail, I believe. And it's not the type of snail in this one. The name is actually incorrectly given to this agate. But it's a different type of snail within this rock, but it is little snail shell remnants within this fossilized rock, now called a Turritella agate. I think it's so cool looking, and it's definitely the one I was most excited about of everything in this batch. Totally unique and totally something I don't know about, which is one of the reasons I love doing little mystery rock bags like this, because it helps me learn about other rocks. Onto a category of something that's much more typical in any sort of tumbler kit. If you buy a rock tumbler that comes with a mix of rocks, chances are you're getting Aventurine in it. Typically the green Aventurine is the one you see most often in those kits. It's a very easy stone to tumble. It's easy to work with, and it's vibrant naturally and very pretty. So we have green, brown, and blue. Brown having the biggest stones, and we have a lot of green and blue. We only got 2 of the browns. So overall, you know, a standard, but a classic for a reason. Now let's talk about bloodstone, which is a type of Jasper. Look how pretty that is. Looks like a little strawberry. The green is much more vibrantly green in person. You can see this one is pretty opaque. Not a lot of translucency in it, but we got a real range. So we have some that look more like this one, where you can see more of those translucent chalcedony bits in it. On to another Tumbler standard category. We've got our quartz. So we have a very, very light pink. I can tell on camera the pink is not even really coming through, but super, super light pink rose quartz. Let's see if this one shows up any better. This one's showing up a lot better. It's a bit deeper. Rose quartz. We have some, I'm just going to call this iron stained quartz. If you know better than I do, let me know. Amethyst. Very vibrant, very pretty, very deep. And then we've got a couple crystal points. I don't like to tumble these unless they're absolutely broken. And these are not. I got 3. If you have any idea of what I should do with these, please let me know. They're very beautiful, but I don't want to tumble them. I don't like tumbling crystal points. I think they're pretty on their own. And it makes me sad because they lose most of that shape. So if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments, because I really love these and I hate to have them just sitting around and not doing anything. Now, when you buy standard tumbling kits, they typically come with Jasper. It polishes up very easily. It's very easy to tumble, very vibrant, and really one of my favorite stones to work with. They typically come with a red Jasper or a yellow Jasper, but as you can tell, we have a whole lot more than that down here. Here's one of my favorite types of Jasper. I'm actually already tumbling a ton of this. I got some from the gem shop a while back. I actually have a video about it. And this is called desert sand or polychrome Jasper. And you can see on camera, it almost looks like agate banding. And some pieces that I have look just like a straight up agate, just without the translucency. They usually have really vibrant colors, and you get a lot of variation in each piece. And I just think they are so cool. Jasper takes a great shine, so you really can't go wrong with tumbling these. Check this piece out. When I was looking for more good examples to show you, look at those little round shapes in there. I think this is actually oolitic Jasper, which is characterized by those little O shapes in the pieces. Look at that. I don't have any of this. This is so cool. They look like little sesame seeds or something in there. We really did get an awesome mix here. And I cannot wait to tumble these. These are going to be some of the prettiest rocks in the batch. Let's move on to the agates. Look at these. I don't know what type of agate this is. If you happen to know, let me know. But they're typically, from what we got, it looks like black. A lot of translucency. You get some opaque white. And then you get the really narrow red and yellow bands. Hopefully some of these will come out even more as we get a shine on them. I mentioned moss agate earlier, and we did get a piece or two of that. This one has a little quartzy pocket. You can see that moss inside. Not real moss, but you can see why it's called a moss agate. Kind of mesmerizing. Love a good piece of moss agate. Now here's where I need your help. I've got some mystery rocks. 4 of them. 2 of them are the same. I just can't identify these. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, but let's look at them. Now this is the one I have 2 of. My first guess was quartz. And this is why I'm saying maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it's just quartz. And I know quartz can be transparent, but it's almost like these more golden layers are layered like an agate. But again, maybe it's just fractures and it's throwing me off. Next up, now when you're looking at this one, you may say, Robin, that is obviously quartz. Why are you looking for anything else? And it feels like quartz to me, or quartzite, but it was this side that really started to throw me off. I don't know what that is. Why? It's like it has a bunch of little orangey translucent pieces in there. And then in the back with some semi-translucent pieces, and then very opaque white. What is this? Is this quartz? Am I overthinking it? Let me know. And the last one. This one's thrown me off probably the most because it feels like 2 different weights and 2 different extreme textures. Whatever host rock this black is in, it is throwing me off. I feel like the black is Jasper. It feels like Jasper. It looks like some of the Jasper pieces I got, but this host rock is throwing me off. Can you identify this? There's more of the sort of rind, but it's really cool looking on its own, but it feels like such a different weight than the Jasper on the other side that I feel like it's really going to pretty much tumble away. But I would still like to know what it is. Now, it may seem like there's not a ton of variety in this mix, but really that's just because I categorized it out. Within each section, there's a ton of variety from stone to stone, which is so cool. Now, I really like these mixes not only because of that variety, but also because it helps me with my rock identification skills. And I think this is great for anybody just starting out tumbling, or if you just want to build your collection. You learn things. Like, I didn't know about the Turritella agate, and I think that's really cool to learn. So guys, I threw all of these rocks into the tumbler. Here is a little 1-week update for you. Most of these rocks are going to need another 2 or 3 weeks in stage 1 before we can move them on. But I thought you might like to see what they look like after just a week in the tumbler. Guys, thanks so much for coming along with me, and I will see you next Wednesday at 11.